Stay a while and listen.
Hello, welcome to my first Devlog. I'm Paulo Villanueva, a freelance writer from Metro Manila, Philippines, and the sole developer of Undying Lantern, which I released on Steam in May 2022. This devlog isn't for that game though, but instead for the new game I'm making. I will talk more about that in a bit. First, some history. During the beginning of the pandemic and all the lockdowns, I decided to get into game dev with zero background, or at least learn how to do it. So I began with 2 courses on Harvard X. The first was an intro to coding, which melted my brain. I wanted to pull my hair out. And the next was an intro to game dev, which was just as challenging and fun. I made one small game for each at the end of those courses. In between those courses, I got ahead of myself a little bit and watched some tutorials on how to use Blender. This barely helped because I didn't start using Blender until much later when I was actually developing my game in Unreal. After taking 2 courses, I thought it was finally time to start learning Unreal. Everything was new to me, and my biggest mistake was not leaving comments everywhere for my future self to understand the strings of spaghetti code, a term used normally when working with Blueprints, the visual scripting language that Unreal has. And I also started a dev blog in 2020. Jumped to 2 years later, in May of 2022, I was able to finish and publish my game on Steam, Undying Lantern, and it was a joy to see how far I had come. It wasn't a critical success, but the lessons I got from the whole process were invaluable. I started working on my new game a few months ago, and I have made more progress on systems and mechanics than I ever did with Undying Lantern. It has a name, but I don't want to talk about its theme and story just yet. You fight, go home, and decorate or furnish your room. In order to level up, you need to place a memory fragment in an object. Then you can write whatever you want on these objects. That's the gameplay loop. It's another Souls-like, yes, just like my first game, but I can't get enough of them. I decided to go with a retro look, a mix of PlayStation 1 and early 2000s graphics. Because for me, it's easier and faster to create anything in that style on my own, since again, I'm working on this by myself. As of now, I'm still working on the core mechanics before I start designing and fleshing out any of the levels in the world, which I plan to talk about in future videos. For now, peace out.